If you want to know how to get a free diet plan, then stay tuned, stick around, and I'll let you know how. So how do you get a free diet plan? Well, it's easy, do it yourself. Now this video is not aimed at competition bodybuilders, people like that sort of nature, because there is a need, if you want to put it like that, for having a prep, and I'll be the first to say that there is a need to have a prep coach. Now if I was doing a bodybuilding competition now, even though I've dieted myself, I've only done 10 shows, so I dieted myself for 10 shows when I was doing competition years ago, and I think looking back now it would be advantageous if I'd have had a coach. So I'm not knocking anyone who has a coach, good thing to do, but if you're an average Joe like me that go into the gym and you just want to shape up a little bit and you haven't got that much of an idea on how to do it, then the easiest way is to do it for free. Now the common obstacle I get, if you want to put it that, is most people will say, oh well, I haven't, this is newbies, most people will say, I haven't really got much of a clue when it comes to food, I don't really know what to eat. Now let's analyse that a little bit deeper. Now if you say to people, what is the most healthiest thing out of these two? Is it a pizza and chips, or is it chicken, rice, broccoli, mixed vegetables, whatever? Everybody will say the second choice is the most healthiest. So these are the people that have not got a clue about diet and nutrition. So when you ask them that simple question, well, it turns out you have got a clue on what's what. So how do I go about sort of getting people to tailor-make their own diet plan? Well, before I tell you, what I would say is it's human nature to be lazy, and I'm not saying people are lazy, but we want things done for us. I'm no different to everybody else. So let's give you a little example of what I mean by that. I will go and buy a sandwich on the odd occasion. It will be cheaper and probably more nutritious if I actually sat at home and made that sandwich and took it with me. At least I'll know what's in it, as well as saving the money side of it. But I don't. Why? Because I'm lazy. I like convenience. Also, Sunday afternoon, it's Sunday afternoon now, every car wash in Northampton where I live will have queues of people waiting to have their car washed. Why are they doing that? You could do that at home. Can't be bothered to do it at home. You want someone else to do it. You'd sooner pay somebody to clean your car when you could quite easily do it yourself. So it's partly laziness and a big convenience. I have my van washed quite a lot. So, as I said, I'm no different to anybody else. Now, how do you go about tailoring your own diet plan to get you? This is a diet plan that's just going to get you in the right sort of idea, point you in the right direction, etc., etc. What I do and what I tell my customers to do is write down everything that you eat on an average day. Now okay, it's going to be an average day, so I might have this one day, that another day. I don't eat the same things every day. Well, just average it out, for God's sake. Don't make things complicated. It doesn't have to be complicated. So when I say write down what you eat on a daily basis on average, what I mean by that is if you have your breakfast at 7 a.m, write down on a bit of paper, or if you're young, use an app. Paper's better anytime. Old school is the best school. Write down 7 o'clock breakfast, and don't just put 4 Weetabix or bowl of cereal. Put down roughly how much you have. Now how can you find out how much you have? Well, you probably eat your breakfast out of the same bowl every morning, so make a mental note of the measure on the bowl. If that's an easy way to do it, you can weigh it out and write that down if you want, or you can make a judgment, if you want to call it that, a guesstimation by how much you pour out the box. All the nutritional values are on the back of the box. Everything's there. If it's not there, you can look it up online. There's a thing called Google where you can look it up. So how you would structure this, writing down your diet, is you'd put down, I have 3 bits of toast. So if that was the case, you would put 3 slices of bread with butter or margarine, with jam or peanut butter, whatever you have on it, etc, etc. If you have a cup of tea with 2 sugars, say you have a cup of tea with milk, 2 sugars, then that's meal 1 at 7 o'clock. If you eat again at dinner time and you have whatever, then write that down. Again, spread it out, so you have 2 bits of bread, this, and an apple, whatever it happens to be, yeah? So you get the idea. So once you've written, once you've written out your daily rough estimate of what you eat, then it's easy to change little things. Now, if you are looking at gaining muscle, I've said this loads of times before, if you're looking at gaining muscle, shaping up, losing a bit of body fat, however you want to word it, then the first thing you need to look at is protein. Now, I've said this loads of times on videos, so excuse me for repeating myself, but it never seems to sink in, and a lot of people haven't seen a load of my videos. So, roughly speaking, quickly, 1 gram of protein, this is rough, so it's 1.5, whatever, 1.5 then, if it makes you happy. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you need 200 grams of protein, roughly, per day, every day. Not on training days, not on Monday to Friday, weekends off, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Then you take that 200 grams as your daily, yeah, and then you split it up into roughly 6. I'll get to the 6 bit in a second. So that gives you, whatever that gives you, I haven't worked it out, 33 grams. So you want roughly 30 to 35 grams of protein per meal. So the idea of 6 meals is you're splitting that up on average roughly about every 3 hours. So once you get your protein sorted out and you are consuming roughly your 200 grams, your 30-35 grams of protein every 3 hours, then you're on the right track for gaining a little bit of muscle. Now, I would just start at doing the protein side. Protein's the most important bit. If you're not got enough protein in your diet, you ain't going to gain shit, basically speaking. Protein is made up of amino acids. Amino acids are what's known as building blocks. They're building blocks of human tissue. In this instance, because we go to the gym, building blocks of muscle. So, without enough building blocks, you ain't going to be able to build anything. It's like setting a gang of bricklayers on, saying, "Can you build me that house, please?" "Yes, no problem, Mr. Client." And then, oh shit, nearly fell over. And then you give them 1 pallet of bricks, and then you come back a week later. Bricks, the building blocks for the house. You come back a week later, and guess what? They've probably done 1 or 2 courses of that house. And you say to the bricklayers, "Well, is that all you've done?" It's like, "Yeah, but you've given us 1 pallet of building blocks, bricks. So how are we supposed to build anything without enough building blocks?" So the same thing applies to when you're going to the gym. You need the building blocks, regular supply of building blocks to build your body. Okay, so that's your protein taken care of. Now, if you're looking at losing body fat, that's kind of the second stage to look at. Body fat, again, this is basic, yeah? Because basic is the best for most people, including me. Body fat is governed by how much carbohydrates you eat. So carbohydrates, your bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, anything sugary, blah, blah, blah. That's all your carbohydrates. Now, the more carbohydrates you consume, generally speaking, the fatter you'll become. So if you eat shitloads of cakes, donuts, biscuits, all them sugary horrible things, then you're probably going to be fatter than if you didn't eat those foresaid foods. So if you're looking at reducing a little bit of body fat, then you should reduce a little bit of your carbohydrate intake. Now, it's easy to see how much carbs you're eating because you've already wrote it all down, haven't you? You've wrote that down. You've got a nice little diet, what I eat on a daily basis plan, on a scrap bit of paper. That's all it takes, yeah? So go through that and think to yourself, okay, well, I could quite comfortably cut out a little bit of these carbohydrates. Let's say you eat like a whole bag of rice. You know, one of those little Uncle Ben rice type packets that you put in the microwave. Say you eat a whole one of those for your with your chicken curry at night or whatever it happens to be, yeah? Well, you want to keep the chicken in because that's your building blocks, yeah? Don't reduce your building blocks. Less building blocks, less muscle, yeah? Keep your building blocks high, your protein high. Reduce your carbohydrates to reduce fat. So I want to reduce fat, so I have a whole bag of Uncle Ben's rice. So, to reduce fat, I'm going to have half a bag of Uncle Ben's rice. So that's what you do. Now, the easiest carbs to cut out to start with, if you're looking at losing fat, are going to be the crap, basically. So everybody knows that junk food is rubbish, yeah? So look at your junk food first. Look at anything sugary. So if you have a packet of crisps with your dinner, for argument's sake, or a bar of chocolate after your dinner, or your break in the afternoon at work, etc., etc., remove it. If you're looking at losing body fat, you ain't going to lose body fat just by thinking, I want to lose body fat. Take the shit out, yeah? But don't, if you eat a lot of shit, then don't take it all out in one go. Just take a little bit out. So it's a steady, slow race, yeah? You're in it for the long haul. It's not like, I need to lose 2 stone in a week. Bollocks, that is. You need to be looking at it long term. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change. So if you change your lifestyle, your body will improve. And so with the rest of you, productivity will go up and your energy will go up, etc., etc. So you will be a better performing human being, as well as looking better in yourself. He says, puffing and panting around here. I'm trying to walk slower because I'm always puffing and panting. Oh, you're out of breath doing your videos. Yes, I fucking know I am. Don't need to tell me. So, look at taking out the sugary stuff first. So if you eat 3 Mars bars a day, don't take 3 Mars bars out, keep 2 in, just take 1 out for now. Your body will lose a little bit of body fat as a result of taking one of those Mars bars out. It will plateau after a while. This is all things I've said throughout my videos, but it will plateau, so your body will adjust to your lower intake of carbohydrates. So you'll probably lose 2 or 3 pounds by taking a Mars bar out, and then when that 2 or 3 pounds stops, then take another Mars bar out, and then when that stops, take your packet of crisps out. You can always replace those with things like, I know it's going to sound boring and horrible, but have an apple instead, or something along that sort of lines if you want something after your meal, if you want to call it that. So it's just about retraining yourself. Once you've got in the hang of not eating your Mars bar and you have an apple, trust me, it's okay. It's a bit shit to start with, I'm not going to lie, because you've always had that. It's kind of like a reward thing. It stems back, a lot of it stems back from childhood. Oh, Johnny's been a good boy at school. Here, we'll have some sweets. Take some sweets. Oh, as a reward. So we're all programmed. My camera's lost where I am. I'm over here. Hello. So oh, it's got me again. We're all programmed as people to accept rewards, yeah, for an early age. So it takes a while to sort of retrain your brain and things like that. So bear with it. But I hope this little snippet of information helps. And my arm's killing me, and it's getting dark, and this camera keeps... I'm over here, dickhead. Look, that way a little bit. My camera keeps conking out because it can't see me. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there, and thanks very much for watching if you have bared it till the end. And please consider subbing. I can't say subscribing. Subscribing. I always mess that word up. So please consider subbing to my channel on YouTube. I will be eternally grateful. And I'll speak to you on the next one.